Hello everybody and welcome to this verbaling class. My name is Amy and today's class is a reading and pronunciation practice class with some speaking to go with it. Our topic is, are you a workaholic? We have an interesting article to read which gives us 10 signs as to whether that could show us perhaps whether we're workaholics or not. So if you think you're a workaholic, you can take this virtual test with us to find out. And if not, you can check that you're not a workaholic. We'll be practicing our pronunciation, we'll be practicing our reading, we'll be learning a few new vocabulary words, and we'll also be discussing this topic. Do you think you work too hard in your job? What type of a person are you, and how do you treat work in the general scheme of your life? So do come along and join us if you would like to. It's going to be a fun class talking about working, which is something that we all have to do, or at least most of us. So it should be relevant to some of you out there. Before we get started, I'm going to tell you about two useful pages that can help you here on Verbling. So the first one is my Facebook page. Check that one out just to see what's going on, what classes are coming up. I do occasionally put them on there, although you will find those on my Verbling teacher page link coming up shortly. Just a good way of informally connecting with both me and other students who attend my classes, or Verbling in general. It's a good place to ask questions, to comment, typical Facebook stuff, but with the theme of Verbling, so it's a really handy page for you guys. The second page is my Verbling teacher page, so the difference between this and the Facebook page is that it gives you a bit more concrete information. So you'll find my timetable on there for not only my classes but also for private tutoring sessions, if that's something that interests you. Quite a few students on Verbling take both classes and tutoring, sort of to complement each other. Tutoring is a good way of working on something really specific to you, and students often find that they do make a bit more progress in certain areas when they have one-on-one tuition. So check out my schedule. If you click on the blue follow button, then you will receive automatic notifications of my classes. And you can also write me a message if you have any questions about anything related to English or Verbling. Then do write me a message using the messaging feature that you can find on my Verbling teacher page. So welcome to everybody who's in this class and watching. We're going to say hello to the students now. Johnny's sending us a message. Thank you, Johnny. We're going to have a great class. Nice to see you yesterday. And we'll see who we've got here to talk about whether or not we're workaholics together. Good morning or good evening to Raphael. How are you?
Hello, Amy. I'm okay. And you?
I'm well, thank you, Raphael. What have you been doing in the last 24 hours since I saw you?
Staying home, recovering from a disease. I'm a little sick.
Disease?
Yes.
Yeah. It wasn't too serious, was it?
It was a sore throat, so my body is it's aching, and
yeah,
it's a little bit of annoying. And well, I'm taking medicine and taking rest, so many liquids. I'm fine.
Right. That's good. I have a magical formula for sore throats and colds, Raphael. It's a recipe that I once had a Japanese student living with me, and she made it. She showed me how to make it. It's garlic and ginger soup, and it is seriously the best medicine I've ever had for a cold or a cough or any of that kind of stuff that happens in your head. So look it up on the internet if you would like. I warn you that it's quite strong. It's tasty, but it's quite strong. It has quite a bit of garlic and ginger, but it does work.
Okay.
So maybe you want to try that one out. It should be the Japanese version. I don't know if there's other versions, but the Japanese one, if you can find it. It's really simple.
Okay, thanks.
No worries. Okay, hello to Mauricio.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, thank you, Mauricio. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Have you got any exciting news?
And yes, maybe Argentina won the match a few minutes ago. I'm from Argentina.
Well, that is great news. Fantastic. Congratulations to Argentina. What part of Argentina are you from?
I'm from Córdoba. It's in the middle of the country.
All right. I've never been, not yet. I haven't been to Argentina yet. But I am going to go one day. I'm going to do a trip all around Central and South America, I hope. Because I'd love to go. And it's winter for you, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, it's winter, but it's nice today.
Yeah? What
Yes.
kind of weather is it?
Yeah, I think it's cold, but it's not too cold. It's nice. I don't know.
Better than here. Today I've got miserable weather. It's not too cold, but it's raining and windy and grey. So you're doing better than me, Mauricio. Welcome to the class. Let's say hello to Julian.
Hey, Amy, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Julian. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Have you got any exciting news?
Uh, what?
Have you got any news? It doesn't have to be exciting. It could be just news.
No. A few time ago, I watched the game between Netherlands and Argentina.
Hmm.
Suffered a lot, but congratulations for Argentina.
Are you a supporter of the Netherlands?
I don't know, 50-50.
50-50, all right, neutral
Because
territory.
because I dreamed to Colombia in the final because I'm
Oh,
from Colombia.
yeah. And poor Colombia, it did so well, nearly there, nearly, but not quite. Oh,
Yeah.
no worries. You'll have to wait till next time, another 4 years.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations on Argentina's win. Welcome to the class, Julian.
Okay, thanks, Amy.
Let's say hi to Harry. I like your picture, Harry. That's very unusual.
Hello, good morning to
Good
you.
morning. Thank you. Where are you from, Harry?
I'm from Germany.
All right. So you're feeling okay? You're feeling good?
Yes, I came home from Aqua Fitness.
Ah, okay. Aqua fitness. So that
Yes.
must be fitness in the pool?
Oh, yes, we do a lot of stuff in 1 hour. It's jogging in the water with different movements, and
Wow.
it's funny. There is an instructor with with music, Latin music. They play Latin music. They they advise you how to move, and that's really good.
That does sound like fun, I have to say, in the water. So it's like salsa in the pool.
Yes.
All right, that sounds very cool. I would like to try that, to be honest. I'm not very much into exercise, but that does sound like fun, I have to say. So you're feeling refreshed after your exercise.
Yes, and after that I went to the sauna.
Oh, and then you relaxed.
It's in the same building.
Hmm. All right, so you went to like a leisure complex where there was a pool and sauna and gym, maybe.
Yes, but I don't know the name when they put water because when I go into the sauna, they have each hour they have a meeting where we go all there and they put water on the stones. We have a special name in German, but I don't know the name in English.
We usually differentiate between a steam room. It sounds like you're talking about a steam room to me, and a sauna. So a steam room is the
Yes,
water
I know.
vapor. Yeah.
But this kind of this kind of doing each hour because people have to go each hour to this special sauna and they put water with a special flavor on the stones and we call it uh, uh, putting yeah we have a special name. Maybe I have to look it up. 1 second, please.
Yeah, no problem. To be honest, I'm not sure what we would call that, Harry. Not very.
Extraction. infusion
Okay.
and
Yep.
extraction.
So extraction of the impurities in your body, right? Possibly.
Oh, they call it because it's yeah the people know when the time is for this extraction because they have different flavors and
Yeah.
with fruit flavors and flower flavors, and it's with rose flavors. I like rose
Uh-huh.
flavor in the evening at the end of the day, and you can sleep very well after this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh, this sounds amazing, Harry. I don't think I've ever experienced that before.
You have to come to Germany and try it.
I will have to come to Germany and try it. It sounds great. Ah. All right. Well, thank you for enlightening me about that.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome to the class, Harry. It's nice to meet you. Let's also say hey to Kako. How are you doing today, Kako?
Hey Amy,
You
I'm
okay?
doing well. I'm doing
Good.
well, thank you.
Have you got any news? I've been asking everybody for their news today. Have you got any news to tell us?
Here in Brazil, only they only speak about the World Cup, about the the lamentable performance or the ausence, the fault of performance of Brazilian team.
Oh,
This
I'm
is
sorry, Kako.
yeah. No. I'm well. I'm not much involved in this.
Fair enough. I
This
probably wouldn't be either.
um, I have not been much confident on the team since the convocation. I'm
Mhm.
not. I'm not. I was not hoping much.
All right, you didn't
But
have high hopes.
yeah, from the team. But
All
it's
right.
okay. It's okay. Um, um, one the better, one the better team,
The better team won. The better
won,
team
the
won.
better
Yeah.
team won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Brazil did pretty well considering. So I think you should still be proud of your country. Much better than my country, I must add, Kako. All right. Welcome to the class, and let's also say hello to Asma. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine. And you, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Asma. Um, I just want to point out, guys, that I mostly try to type any corrections or useful things in the chat box for you, whether it be at the beginning of class when we're just saying hi or during the class when we're going through our topic for the day. So just keep your eye on the chat box as we go along. All right, so Asma, do you have any news for us? Not
Uh,
really.
mm, yeah, I don't know if Argentina or Netherlands moved to the final of the World Cup. I don't know. Only I'm watching the 10 minutes of the first extra time, but I don't know. Maybe Argentina. I don't know. I don't
We
have an
actually
idea.
have the result. We were talking about the result at the beginning of class. Because we have
Okay.
Mauricio. Mauricio is from Argentina. Mauricio, could you please tell us a very, very quick summary of the game and who won, please?
And yes, the game was 0-0, and Argentina won by penalties, 4-2.
All right, there you go. There's your answer, Asma. What we say, Mauricio, is 0-0 if there's no goals, right? That score is called 0-0. For some reason, if someone doesn't score anything, we call it nil. So it was 0-0, and then they went to penalties, and Argentina won through getting more penalties. So there's your answer, Asma.
Yeah. I say to him, congratulations for Argentina. Yeah, it's a good news. Yeah, for Argentina. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so everybody, we're now going to wait with bated breath for the next match. But we're going to focus now on our class topic for today, which is 10 signs you're working too hard. Are you a workaholic? So first of all, I just want to talk about this word workaholic. Can anyone think of any other words that have the aholic suffix on them in English? So we have workaholic. Anyone know any others?
I think it's similar to alcoholic.
Right. What does it mean? What does alcoholic mean, or what does workaholic mean?
Addicted by the work.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah,
So basically,
okay.
that's absolutely right, Asma. Well done. So it means you're addicted to something, right? And you can use it. You can use this suffix however you like. It's one of those recognizable suffixes in English. So if you're a chocoholic, Catholic. Thanks, Harry. No, actually, Catholic's not part of it. You could be a chocoholic, though. That means you're addicted to chocolate. Is anybody in here addicted to anything? Would you say? I would have to say I'm a teaholic.
Yeah, by learning English.
Okay, an Englishaholic.
Yeah, at this period. In this period.
All right. Asma's currently an Englishaholic, but not forever, right, Asma?
Verbaliholic.
Verbalingaholic. I love it. Okay, Karko's a verbalingaholic. Was that you who said that, Karko? Couldn't see. Harry, are you a... I'm not going to say Catholic because that's not an aholic. Are you an aholic of anything? Are you a aqua fitness-aholic?
No, because I don't do it very often. I do it one time a week, and
Okay, just once a week. Once a week we usually say.
yes, I noticed that less is more.
The class, the Verblin class or your aqua fitness class?
Yeah, in general, I think less is more. When I do a thing too much, it becomes too much. I lose the interest in this kind of doing, because I think it's for me important that I make a break between studies, between doings. A rest is very important.
Absolutely. I agree with you there, Harry, for sure. So you're not addicted to anything. You just like to take one thing at a time.
Yes.
All right, very good to know. Let's ask Julian. Are you an aholic of anything? Addicted to anything?
No, fortunately
No?
no. But I try to
Good.
give the time to the different activities. I don't know. I try to fall in a alcoholic, like a aholic, alcoholic, no, aholic uh, um, habits. I don't know. Could be.
Good, because it's not healthy. It's agreed that it's not healthy. Just we take this kind of aholic suffix in quite a light-hearted way. Obviously, being an alcoholic isn't light-hearted, though. Let's ask Mauricio. Are you an aholic of anything?
And no, I think no. And then I try to do no, I try to do different things, and I don't know. I think I'm not addicted to anything.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Well, that's a very healthy class. All right, so we're going to read an article. Now, I've attached the file to this class description. So if you want to access that yourself, feel free. But what I'm going to do is a screen share so that we can all read it along together. You will see that okay. And what we're going to do is take it in turns to read. So I'd like you to really concentrate hard on your pronunciation and your intonation and the way that you connect up your words, depending on your level of reading. And we'll pause every paragraph or so that I can help you out if you get anything wrong or give you any tips that I think might help you. And we'll talk about what we're reading as well as the vocabulary and grammar if you have any questions about it. So I'm going to get Asma to start us off with the title and the first little part, if you wouldn't mind, Asma.
Okay. 10 signs you're working too hard and how to stop.
Excellent. Just go from here.
Okay. The signs of stress are
Oh, she's disappeared. That's rather unfortunate. Poor Asma. Okay, hopefully she'll be back in a moment. I'm going to have to ask Karko. Can you take over for us, please, Karko?
Yes, teacher.
Thank you. We'll give Asma another chance when she gets back.
I am not seeing the the exhibition on the
On the screen?
on the screen.
That's strange.
I ask you, please say me what paragraphs can I read?
Okay. Asma, we've given Karko a chance because you disappeared, so I'll come back to you in a moment, okay?
Yeah, I don't know what it stop. I don't know what stop.
It chucked you out. Sorry.
Yeah.
But don't worry, you'll get another chance to read shortly. So, Karko, just the first line and the second paragraph as well, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
On the signs of stress. Yeah.
The signs of stress are easy to spot. It's the solution that can be hard to come by. If you've stopped exercising, can't sleep, and are eating poorly, you are heading down a road that could lead to a disastrous destination. And if you're far enough along this destructive path that you've abandoned your hobbies and interests, can't find time for friends or family, and are obsessed with work day and night, you may actually need an outside intervention. Don't be too surprised if it comes unsolicited at the hands of a doctor or lawyer.
Excellent. Thank you, Karko. All right, you had a couple of tricky words in here. Overall, great reading. Just a few I want you to repeat if you wouldn't mind, please. So the first one is exercising. Exercising.
Exercising.
Perfect. So the emphasis here is on the first syllable, the X, okay?
Exercising.
Perfect, yep. Same with exercise, the verb. And this is obviously a verb too, but the infinitive. Okay, you're heading down a road.
You're heading down a road.
Perfect, that's great. And the last one was this. Third line of that second paragraph, destructive path.
Destructive path.
Perfect. Excellent. Really great reading. Well done.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, does anyone have any questions about vocabulary or things you don't understand?
Yes, I have a question about the word disastrous. Destination, disastrous.
Disastrous.
Ah, disasters.
hmm It comes from the word disaster. So can anyone guess what disastrous means? Or does anybody know?
Movement of the in the earth or in the,
Sorry, Asma, I didn't quite catch that. What did you say?
what happened in Brazil is a disaster. I
Nice
cannot.
example.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, a disaster is something terrible that happens, Harry, okay? Um, so you can apply it to anything. If you're a Brazil supporter, you probably would say that that match was a disaster because they lost so badly, all right? Um, it's anything that you think is really terrible. So in this case, a disastrous destination is a really terrible destination, okay?
Okay.
Any other questions? No? All right, excellent. I'm going to read this Kako, if you could just read this 3 lines for us, please. It's best to recognize.
It's best to recognize the early warning signs and address them before someone else does. Here are 10 common signs you're under too much stress and suggestions for what to do about it.
Perfect. Thank you, Kako. Can anyone tell me what are early warning signs?
Previous signs before um, uh, a hard consequence,
Or a disaster? Yeah, exactly.
a vast consequence. Previous signs, for example, if you lose the interest for amusement, for meet your friends or family, these can signalize that you are 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 stressed, and it can warn you before you have an attack, for example, if
Yeah,
you pay attention to that.
absolutely. Yeah. Signs are basically little signs or signals that warn you about something. And if you pay attention to them, if you heed their warning, then you might avoid the disaster. So they're good things to look out for. So we're going to go back to Asma. Asma, if you can read number 1 firstly for us, please. This is the first warning sign.
Yeah, just I want to know about address. Yeah, I
Sure.
know. Yeah, I think that there are many meaning of address, but in this sentence, what's the meaning?
Good question. Can anyone explain it? To address something. Nobody?
Address,
Oh, and
announce
announce.
them.
Yeah.
Not quite, Kako. It's not so much announce as deal with. It means to deal with them, to do something about them, to solve them, to face them, any of those. Um, is that clear, Asma?
Means to help.
Yeah, it means to, for example, if you address a problem, it means that you look at the problem and you decide what are you going to do about it. So face it, to
Ah,
deal with it, or to
okay.
something, yeah, to do something about it.
Okay.
And we often use this with the word problem, so quite a nice phrase to use. Good question. Okay, Asma, could you read number 1, please?
Okay. Your chained to your desk. An editor at the Chicago Sun-Times once said that he couldn't take time off. He was afraid the place would fall apart without him, and he was terrified it wouldn't. If you think the universe depends on you, you're headed for a high-stress breakdown. Hire people who will do a better job than you ever could, and then celebrate their successes. Get out of their way and recharge your battery regularly.
Great, thank you, Asma. Well done. A couple of tricky words in here for you. So this one is terrified.
Terrified. Okay.
Yep, so the emphasis is actually on this syllable here, terrified.
Terrified.
Yes, that's better. And then this one here, you pronounced it correctly, but the emphasis should be on the first syllable. So a high stress breakdown.
Breakdown.
Yeah, so less emphasis on this one, more on this one, okay? A breakdown.
Okay. Breakdown.
Yeah. That's because we've got, this is a noun here, it's a breakdown. If you're using the verb to break something down, then you can put the emphasis on the down. So in order to understand it properly, you need to make sure that you differentiate between those two, okay?
Okay.
Great. And then the last one here is successes.
Successes.
Perfect. Well done. All right, so what's number 1? Let's ask Julian. Julian, can you give us a summary of what number 1 is saying? What's it talking about?
I don't know. I try to talk about the how, for example, when I when I feel that I have I don't know, the power, that I have the all responsibility, and you try to do the best that you can do, and you can sleep well, and you think a lot and every moment about all the things that I need to do, and try to support and to try to cover the responsibility to the in the other to the
Mm-hmm.
other, and I don't know, try to I'll feel that if I commit a mistake, the world fall down. I don't know. Could be.
That's along the right lines. There's something really specific that it talks about, Julian, which is this part here. The person is worried that they can't take time off. What does it mean to take time off?
Relaxing.
Relaxing vacation.
Yeah, exactly. Like a vacation, even like the weekend. Any time when you're not at work is time off. So this is the problem is that they've named it you're chained to your desk. Basically, you're worried that the company won't be able to carry on if you're not there. But you're also worried that the company will be able to carry on if you're not there because you want to be indispensable. You want to be irreplaceable.
Yeah.
All right, so well done. I'm going to get Asma to read number 2 as well, if you wouldn't mind, Asma, please.
Okay. You can play nice. A demanding attitude rarely reduces stress, so if you find yourself berating waiters, flight attendants, or reservation agents, make a habit of taking an extra minute during every interaction to thank them, and be specific if possible in trying to cheer up those who are doing uh, thought job, you might also boost your own spirits.
Great, thank you, Asma. Really good reading. This one here is tough. Tough.
Tough.
Yeah. So it's as if this is an F sound, okay?
Tough.
Yeah. And this word here is boost. Perfect. All right, what does it mean to cheer up somebody? To cheer somebody up? Anybody know?
To honestly flatter the people for their good job, their good performances.
Absolutely. That's a good way of putting it,
Appreciate.
Kaka. Yeah,
Appreciate.
yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of like appreciate, kind of like to flatter. Basically, it means to make somebody feel happier about something, right? So if they're feeling a bit down, or if you cheer them up, you can tell them a joke or make them smile, make them feel happier. Are there any other questions about meaning?
What is the meaning of boost?
Boost. To boost, does anybody know?
To strength.
Strengthen. Yeah, strengthen's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Strengthen.
Could be a kind of motivation.
Yeah, exactly. So to boost means to strengthen. I think that's the best way of putting it. If you boost somebody's spirits or boost your spirits, you're strengthening your spirits, you're making yourself happier. If you're in low spirits, it means that you're not happy. High spirits is happy. Yeah, to accelerate. That's a good way of putting it. Maybe to increase the force of something. Boost could have quite a few different synonyms. All right, so does anybody feel so far, after reading these first 2 points, that they've ever experienced this before? Has anyone ever experienced the feeling of not being able to have time off, or of being like a bit mean to waiters or flight attendants or people? Let's ask Mauricio. Have you ever felt like this, Mauricio?
I don't know. I think no. But no, I think no.
Good. You don't think so. You don't think so. That's really great. I'm very glad to hear that. So, how about Harry? Have you ever felt like this, Harry? Point number 1 or point number 2?
Yes, I do it every day. Every day it happens. Every day it happens.
Which one? 1 or 2?
Both.
Oh dear, Harry. Do you think you might be a workaholic?
No, it's normal. Each person do it. But we don't recognize it because it works so fast in our minds. You can't notice it because we have to study it, how we realize how we act to another people. That's really interesting, how we punish or judge another people, and why we want to stay on our working place for a long time. And because there is always a competition, always we think life is a competition, and when I think this way, these things happen all the day, that I judge people and have problems with another people, and I have to solve the stress. So I ask you, what do you think what stress are?
Are you asking me, Harry?
Yes.
It's a very good question. I'm going to think about it, and I'm going to answer you after we've read the next paragraph. Is that okay?
Okay.
I'm going to get you to read us number 3, if you wouldn't mind, please, Harry.
Okay.
Yeah, please, teacher. Yeah, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead, Asma.
Yeah, greeting waiter, I think, yeah, on the app of the, yeah.
This one here?
Yeah, you found yourself, yeah, greeting waiter. It's a phrase or what? What's this?
To berate is a verb, and you don't necessarily have to berate a waiter. A waiter is a person who serves in a yeah. So to berate basically means to criticize, to shout at, to yell at, to become annoyed with, something like that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great question. Okay, Harry, off you go. Number 3.
Okay. Your mind races in circles. You think the root of your stress is that you spend all of your time in a state of intense focus. But really, most people under stress are replaying the same field over and over. They confuse this obsessing with focus, but it's really the opposite. Problems typically get simpler as you work your way through them. So make sure your solutions involve reducing complexity. Then work on execution in bite-sized pieces that are less demanding than the larger initial problem. When your stress is under control, focus will come more easily.
Thank you, Harry. Really great reading. Well done. Just a few words. This one is replowing.
Replowing.
Yeah. This one is execution. You got there, but just practice it.
Execution.
And then this one, initial.
Initial.
Great, perfect. Okay, do we understand all of this, guys?
Replowing is a new word for me.
All right, thank you, Harry. I'm sure this is the same for everybody. To plow a field is where this is coming from. Does anyone know what plowing a field is? They're using it as a metaphor here, but actually it's a physical thing that you can do. No? Okay, so to plow a field is like before you plant things, you have to use like a tractor or something to dig up the soil, to turn over the soil so that the soil is nice and ready to put your seeds into. That's called a ploughing. So in this case, you're doing it again because you're re-ploughing. But what it's saying is that this is like a pointless exercise because you're doing the same thing over and over again. And it doesn't make it any better if you do it the second time. You only need to do it once, right? Any other parts, guys? No? I'm going to ask Mauricio. Mauricio, what is this really talking about, point number 3? Can you give us a little explanation?
Yes, this point is talking about and I know you are working always and you're focusing and maybe in the big problem and you're focusing always on the same thing. So they say that, or the text says that you should try to work in small pieces so you can get better solutions to the big problem, something like that, and you don't think on the same thing over and over again.
Absolutely perfect summary. Well done. Do you agree with it, Mauricio?
And yes, I agree. And yes, I think it's the way to do things.
All right, great. Thank you. Excellent. So next person to read is Julian. Julian, could you read number 4, please?
Okay. Your favorite phrase is "You've got mail." Email maybe have become a mindless stress reliever for you, but like most things, it's a two-edged sword. If you're disciplined, it's a time saver, but if you use of it goes unchecked, it morphs into a constant interrupter, a pestering reminder of all or you're having a hard time responding to. So turn off your email for hours at a time and work on developing the discipline to check in on a regular schedule and not more frequently.
Thank you. Great, Julian. We had a few little words here. This word here is pronounced sword.
Sword.
Yeah, so the W is basically silent, okay?
So, okay.
This one here is disciplined.
Disciplined.
Last one, you pronounce this schedule, which is absolutely fine. I just want to point out that there are actually
Schedule.
two pronunciations for this. Yeah, did you know that?
Schedule.
Yeah, so you can say schedule or schedule, up to you, okay?
Okay.
All right, any questions about vocab?
Mm, self-pity? Ah, no. Sorry. I'm seeing the number 5.
You're skipping ahead to number 5. We'll get to it in a moment. What do you think of point number 4, Julian? Were you understanding it as you were reading it?
Mm, in this case, he is invited me that I don't know to set off my mail or don't use it and try to focus on in a schedule and
Yeah,
I don't know, try to change the way that I work, um, and I don't know, focusing in a different way to do my work or improve the way that I do the things. Um, and because nowadays I use a lot of companies use the email, and it's I don't know, sometimes it's not a good tool, yeah, and
absolutely.
you need I don't know to focus in my personal things, feelings, and try to organize my mind.
hmm
I don't
Do you
know,
think that
could be
I was going to ask you, Julian, if you think email is sometimes time wasting for you, or do you generally control it quite well?
yes, and is in a lot of cases when you use email, I don't know. I think you lose the contact with the people, or I don't know. It's better to have a contact directly
hmm
and a good to how do you say have a good relationship, but email I don't know could or yes could the distance between the people.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point, definitely. Sometimes email can make things easier, but there are definitely times in which email makes things harder in a way, or maybe more time consuming, or sometimes I agree, I just want to pick up the phone and talk to somebody. Um,
Yes,
and it just is much quicker and more efficient because if you've got like several questions to ask, or I don't know if you guys have ever had that situation where you ask 5 things and they only reply with 2 of the answers, and then you need to get back to them again, and it just takes a very long time. So
yes.
yeah, I have to agree with this. Thank you. Great reading, Julian. Okay, Mauricio, your turn to do number 5.
Okay, number five, and you wallow in self-pity. If you find yourself feeling underappreciated, change your surroundings, or at the minimum, change your attitude. Replace self-pity with gratitude, or better yet, Find a way to serve those less fortunate than you. In the process, you'll discover you have a lot to be grateful for, and you'll be surprised at how transformative that realization can be.
Excellent. Thank you, Mauricio. Any questions about vocab? Mauricio, I don't have any comments. That was perfectly read. Well done. What does it mean to wallow? To wallow in self-pity. Anybody know?
I guess only I can when I see the sentence. I think self-pity means I'm very sad about myself because all things go wrong in my life. So wallow means like a pork in the forest. They lie on the ground and they put sand on themselves, and it means also when you it's like a circle when you go in your self-pity all the time. This is wallow.
That's brilliantly described. Thank you, Harry. Couldn't have said it better myself. Yep, absolutely. So it's like you're feeling sorry for yourself is another. Right, we use that verb to talk about, say, a pig wallowing in the mud. It means they're sort of like floating and getting mud all over them. Does anyone here wallow in self-pity sometimes? No?
Yes, I heard it today at a cafe where a group of older ladies were sitting there and they thought, "Oh my goodness, I have this sickness and my neighbor has this that sickness all the time."
Harry, I've certainly heard that type of thing myself. Yeah, people definitely do this. It's kind of interesting that they consider this to be an indicator of being a workaholic, though. It wouldn't be something that would come straight to my mind. I don't know why, but yeah, all right. Let's see if we can go on to number 6. And because Kako already read 2, I'm going to get Harry to read number 6 for us. Please.
You are always running late. You are always running late. Sorry. Make a commitment that you'll be 5 minutes early to every meeting and every event, and then tell others about it as a way forcing you to curtail the activities that are making you late. This will rarely reduce the quality of your thinking or your work, and it will usually help you reframe your priorities and focus on your accountability and deliverables.
Great. Thank you, Kako. Really lovely reading. Well done. So, does this happen to any of you? Are you one of those people who is always running late? Anybody in this class?
Not anymore. Before I did it.
Really? And how have you changed that, Harry?
Because I noticed that people um, had another behavior on me when I come a little bit earlier to a special meeting, and yeah, I like it also because now I say what I like. I have to do, or I expect from another person what I like. And when I don't, when I'm late all the time, I can't expect it to another person. So I have to change myself before I want to change another.
Thank you. I love that. Yeah, that's really true. Um, and do you think that there's lots of advantages for coming a bit early?
Yes, I think I notice I have a lot more conversations
Mhm.
before the meeting, uh, and I can check it out because when I go to a special place, which is new for me, I can check the building out. I can check a new signs out. I I notice much more, and I feel more confident. Like I feel more confident because I can realize where I am. And when I go to a place too late, I don't know where I am, and
Yeah.
I'm always in hurry, and
Yeah, that's
I'm
so
not
true,
myself.
Harry.
I'm not
Um,
myself.
yeah, and I think when I'm late, I always feel like kind of panicky or something, like I'm behind. I can't relax because it's like you get there late, then you leave late. Everything, the whole day just
Yeah,
feels
yeah.
stressful.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I have to agree with you 100% there, Harry. Guys, we haven't got time to finish these points. I'm sorry, but please do read the rest of them yourself. And if you do have any questions, then head to Facebook and write me a little message and ask me about some words or use your dictionary. Some great feedback and some great responses from all of you today, and some really good reading. So congratulations on that. It was lovely meeting those of you who I hadn't met before. I'm going to be doing a writing class straight after this one, so if you're interested in improving your writing, then you can come along to that. Otherwise, I'll bid you farewell and take care, everybody.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay.
Thank
See
you.
All
you
right.
Thank
soon.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
you,
Bye
guys.
bye.
See you
Thanks a
soon.
lot. See you.
See you soon.
I'm
All
fine.
right. That's good. I have a magical formula for sore throats and colds, Raphael. It's a recipe that I once had a Japanese student living with me, and she made it. She showed me how to make it. It's garlic and ginger soup, and it is seriously the best medicine I've ever had for a cold or a cough or any of that kind of stuff that happens in your head. So look it up on the internet if you would like. I warn you that it's quite strong. It's tasty, but it's quite strong. It has quite a bit of garlic and ginger, but it does work. So
Okay.
maybe you want to try that one out. It should be the Japanese version. I don't know if there's other versions, but the Japanese one, if you can find it, it's really simple.
Okay. Thanks.
No worries. Okay, it's hello to Mauricio.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, thank you, Mauricio. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Have you got any exciting news?
And yes, maybe Argentina won the match a few minutes ago. I'm
Yay!
from Argentina.
Well, that is great news. Fantastic. Of my classes. And you can also write me a message if you have any questions about anything related to English or Verbling, then do write me a message using the messaging feature that you can find on my Verbling teacher page. So welcome to everybody who's in this class and watching. We're going to say hello to the students now. Johnny's sending us a message. Thank you, Johnny. We're going to have a great class. Nice to see you yesterday. And we'll see who we've got here to talk about whether or not we're workaholics together. Good morning or good evening to Raphael. How are you?
Hello, Amy. I'm okay. And you?
I'm well, thank you, Raphael. What have you been doing in the last 24 hours since I saw you?
Uh, Staying home, recovering
Yeah,
from recovering from a disease. I'm a little
a
sick.
disease. You had,
Yes.
yeah. It wasn't too serious, was it?
It was a sore throat, so my body is it's aching, and
Yeah.
it's a little bit of annoying. And well, I'm taking medicine and taking rest, so many liquids.
Fantastic. Congratulations to Argentina. What part of Argentina are you from?
I'm from Cordoba. It's in the middle of the country.
All right. I've never been, not yet. I haven't been to Argentina yet. But I am going to go one day. I'm going to do a trip all around Central and South America, I hope. because I'd love to go. And it's winter for you, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, it's winter, but it's nice today.
Yeah? What
Yes.
kind of weather is it?
Yeah, I think it's cold, but it's not too cold. It's nice. I don't know.
Better than here. Today I've got miserable weather. It's not too cold, but it's raining and windy and grey. So you're doing better than me, Mauricio. Welcome to the class. Let's say hello to Julian.
Hey, Amy, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Julian. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Have you got any exciting news?
What?
Have you got any news? Hello everybody and welcome to this verbaling class. My name is Amy and today's class is a reading and pronunciation practice class with some speaking to go with it. Our topic is, are you a workaholic? We have an interesting article to read which gives us 10 signs as to whether that could show us perhaps whether we're workaholics or not. So if you think you're a workaholic, you can take this virtual test with us to find out. And if not, you can check that you're not a workaholic. We'll be practicing our pronunciation, we'll be practicing our reading, we'll be learning a few new vocabulary words, and we'll also be discussing this topic. Do you think you work too hard in your job? What type of a person are you, and how do you treat work in the general scheme of your life? So do come along and join us if you would like to. It's going to be a fun class talking about working, which is something that we all have to do, or at least most of us. So should be relevant to some of you out there. Before we get started, I'm going to tell you about 2 useful pages that can help you here on Verbling. So the first one is my Facebook page. Check that one out just to see what's going on, what classes are coming up. I do occasionally put them on there, although you will find those on my Verbling teacher page link coming up shortly. Just a good way of informally connecting with both me and other students who attend my classes, or Verbling in general. It's a good place to ask questions, to comment, typical Facebook stuff, but with the theme of Verbling, so it's a really handy page for you guys. The second page is my Verbling teacher page, so the difference between this and the Facebook page is that it gives you a bit more concrete information. So you'll find my timetable on there for not only my classes but also for private tutoring sessions, if that's something that interests you. Quite a few students on Verbling take both classes and tutoring, sort of to complement each other. Tutoring is a good way of working on something really specific to you, and students often find that they do make a bit more progress in certain areas when they have one-on-one tuition. So check out my schedule. If you click on the blue follow button, then you will receive automatic notifications